I'm still in the middle of rewatching Sopranos, so I'm mixing and matching. Did you watch any of the golf yesterday with Tiger Woods?
No, not with Tiger. I thought you were going to ask me about Full Swing.
Did you see
again.
the Brooks Koepka episode?
I'm about halfway through it.
So okay,
about halfway through it.
Is he more relatable, more hateable?
He's weird.
He's very weird, but I actually kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean,
like him more.
Listen, I dig authenticity, so tell me who you are.
Right?
So anything that goes behind, I love documentaries. Anything that
Aren't
goes
they the
behind
best?
this, yeah, absolutely. Let's see what things look like when you get let in. I'm a little fascinated by his home life. That looks interesting. Like
the wife DM'd him, and that's how they got together.
That whole thing just felt a little bit weird. She felt like she was just trying to put on, like she's way too aware of the cameras. That's what that felt
she's
like.
an Instagram star.
And
you
then,
know that, right?
and then he's openly admitting that he doesn't list. Like he's like, yeah, she's just talking, and I'm just thinking about my golf swing. I'm like, well, how's that going to go when this airs? Like, I mean,
100%.
Brooks.
Whereas Jordan and Justin felt very authentic.
Well, so milk and cookies, right? Like
so
just
much
their
so
story.
with their dads, and he's the best man at my wedding. I'm a Jordan Spieth. Like I'm a truther. I love Jordan. I think he's a great person. I followed him his entire career.
I tell you what stands out so far in golf, we don't get teammates.
No,
you don't get guys in front of a podium talking about one another very often. Because it's an individual sport. So to see these guys interact in the locker room and everything, where there is actually kind of a teammate vibe, but also competition within that that teamwork is cool.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. Yeah, because look, golf needs this. Golf needs
100%
personality. Especially as we walk down the final few years or whatever it is.
Oh, Tiger showed personality yesterday. Do we need that?
I was on the edge of my seat watching the final couple holes.
Well, we can get to that if you want.
In front of the fireplace.
Let's get right to it now.
I thought it was incredible.
Did you find it incredible when he handed Justin Thomas a tampon?
That was weak. I don't want to see him do that. I didn't even think that was real. Do you think that's real?
It's absolutely real.
Because I thought it was photoshopped.
I think someone would have said that.
Oh, I thought. See, I didn't know. I thought the internet might have got me because trust me, I've been gotten by the internet. And I didn't want to bring that to air.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Zaire
you know
Golf is like one of the biggest Instagram golf accounts, and they originally posted it. So I personally, just because of the climate these days, I was waiting to see it on like
ESPN
or somewhere where it wouldn't have, because on Zaire Golf it was funny, but I was thinking this is not going to be funny for somebody somewhere.
Exactly.
And I haven't heard anything yet, but that doesn't, I don't know if you have.
I thought it was photoshopped. I swear to God, I didn't think, because we've done this on this show. Did you see the report from BS Sports, which is there's a longer name, and we've gotten got like 3 times.
Look,
so I didn't want to get got again.
I think there are things that are much, much bigger deal in life than this. I think sometimes we've fallen so far into cancel culture that like now we look for things. This is not something I would do. No. This is also not something to spend the next week of our lives freaking out about. No. Tiger Woods has, if you know the Tiger Woods story, and I mean his life, he has reminded us repeatedly that he's got the maturity of a 13-year-old. He has always been that. And this is another one of those things. The other thing, though, that pops to mind is this is not going to stain Tiger Woods because we don't want it to. There are certain people, it's like Charles Barkley can say stuff on air that other people can't. Why? Because it's just, that's Charles.
Well, yeah.
I'm telling you, if Dustin Johnson had done this would be a different story.
That's fair. And I think there is too much going on in terms of just the rush to cancel people. But I think when you understand that climate, why put yourselves in that position unless you just don't care? And I just don't think Tiger cares, because what does a cancel even mean to Tiger?
What does that
even cancel mean? Tiger?
Yeah,
I mean, think about
it.
Tiger's already been canceled. He
Exactly.
was revealed to be a serial cheater. Mm-hmm. His ex-wife went through his windshield with a 9-iron.
His face.
He was a sex addict. He's untouchable. He got into a car accident that may or may not have been related to medicines that he was taking. Either way, he was going 92 miles an hour, and I'm sure you know the street.
I know the street very well.
You've been down that road very well, up and over those hills in L.A.
Yeah, I ain't messing around with those streets.
So he basically, he's ruined his own career. He's self-canceled 3 or 4 times. So the slipping of a feminine hygiene product to a good friend in a humorous moment, that's not going to bring him down.
If you also look at the picture itself, and this is wild, someone who has lived in as small of a fishbowl as any other human being in sports in the last generation for sure, you'd think by now would know the cameras catch everything.
That's
but
the other
way
piece,
he's slipping it to him, I think Tiger thought nobody was going to catch this.
Yeah,
I thought that's what I thought. Stop. Now you're trying to cancel me.
I am going to cancel you, and I'll tell you why. In the break, we had like a minute left. It was the 1 minute warning. And I went over, hey, what's up with the donut situation? I went over, and Mark was hovering over the donut box like he was making the most difficult decision of his life. I'm like, grab a donut so the boy can stuff one in my gullet.
I'm going to have to defend my partner here because we try to bring donuts every payday, payday Friday. And there's a certain, either a pecking order or a draft order, depending on who bought the donuts, who brings the donuts, who paid for the donuts, whatever. The interlopers, your Lubmans, and sadly Spadoni, who is now Benedict Spadoni. He used to be ours.
Benedict?
Now he's everyone's.
He's French?
Lubman jumped the line. Shasky's trying to jump the route. My guy Mark Willard's got to come in and make his draft choice. And I'm sorry if you're up against it here.
It's a donut.
Dude, it's more than a donut.
No, don't look. Watch the first round of the NFL draft. You do not pick
the Vikings.
You do not make a pick the first 10 seconds of your window. If you don't understand, thank you.
So are you a chocolate guy?
I'm a huge chocolate guy.
Depends on any chocolate.
But today,
he was taking best available.
Right, thank you. If you any good drafter knows
he took McGlinchey.
when there's something there that you didn't think was going to be there, and on a day when I had a hankering for maple and a maple that was up against a crumb,
with sprinkles,
so it's maple that had received a little bit of extra crumb.
Yeah,
that's an opportunistic
It was a Debo.
pick.
It was a hybrid.
Yeah,
totally.
he was available. I didn't think he was going to be available. He was. I ate it.
This is absurd.
I was so damn hungry. I just
You
wanted to
do not rush a decision like this. If you rush this decision, like the whole, hey, grab a donut, that just means you're not a donut person.
Well, I know what I like.
This is an important
I know what I like.
decision.
You know what you like.
I know what I like. I look at the box within a second. I'm like, boom, boom, or boom.
But man, chocolate old fashioned is the #1 ranked donut.
Always.
And there was one in there.
Old-fashioned?
But this particular donut shop, I think there are other places that do chocolate old fashioned better. So I was open.
It's like drafting a tackle from the Big Ten.
Thank
you wouldn't
you.
draft a tackle from,
Dibs, you're on fire.
from
You know
the
what I
Big
mean?
12, right?
Like you're not going to take a quarterback from like North Dakota State or some crap. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
there you go.
Can I just bow to you?
Got personal.
Real quick, before I forget you, because 4 or 5 minutes I said. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, kgmz-fm, HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app, favorite 95.7 The Game. Bunch of other stuff. YouTube, subscribe,
You
follow
did it.
us. Let's
Inside
do it.
of 5 minutes, you did it.
Good.
Alan, you intimidate me with your 3-pointer, man.
You like that?
Well, because that used to be, I could shoot, but now it's funny. I don't know what the age is. Maybe it's 44, somewhere in there. That regular sized NBA basketball starts to feel like a medicine ball, and I can shoot. And I can still shoot, but you went out to NBA.
That was NBA range. That was NBA range.
And
I did have to give it a little extra
damn,
something.
Yeah, did you warm up?
Yeah,
that
was not straight out.
I was like the outtakes.
Show up
you will
at the
never
gym.
see. There are no outtakes.
You just show up at the gym and fire your first NBA 3-pointer.
I'm like that. I'm just like that. I'm just like that. And that was pure too.
I'm like,
that was pure.
I need 6 minutes of warm up.
A little bit of a set shot,
but
but I'm not mad at it.
It had Mike Conley vibes.
A little bit. The left-hander, exactly.
Snap,
left-hander, a little bit of a low release.
I'm a little small. I got to get it out quick. You don't
have to shoot high anymore. Nobody defends, so you're just going to be by yourself. Let it fly.
I only go high when I go mid-range. When I can't get to the cup. I got to get.
Thank you.
And you know who's coming. He left me open.
Well, I was hoping for some Styles cuts here. It's time we catch him in some live mic moments. Exactly.
You're not going to catch me lacking.
So let me ask you guys this, because we were having just a philosophical conversation about how we consume media today. And it might be fascinating to some people. It might not. I don't know. It's up to you guys. But I'm a traditionalist. I watch on cable. I have Xfinity. I freely admit it. I also pay for every freaking streaming app possible because I'm stupid and because my wife loves Netflix and all these other things, and so we have it all. Bally Sports is going broke right now, and there's 15 teams in Major League Baseball, 15 teams in the NBA who only broadcast their regional games via Bally Sports, and they might not get their payments. It's going to affect their revenue streams. It's going to affect their payroll, blah, blah, blah. Why you should care is because in 2 or 3 years, they're going to try to bring these rights indoors and do what the NFL does, sell the whole package to Apple Plus like MLS is doing now. MLS used to be on NBC Plus California, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now they're only available on Apple Plus. Do you guys care?
I do care.
Yes.
And I care to the extent that when you make me work to watch content, it's hard for me to want to watch your content. And I'll use the English Premier League as an example.
Please do.
They're on Peacock. And a lot of the cock. Thank you, Mark. You were waiting for it.
Say thank you, Mark.
No, you were looking at me waiting for me to
because it's
say
the first time you've used the P. Anyway, go ahead.
The nickname of the network is Le Coq, the French. That's what they call it over in France. Alan, I'm a pretty worldly guy. But if you make me work for it, and I'm kind of like you, I turn on my TV, I have Xfinity, I love Xfinity, and I want to be able to watch the Premier League, but the game that I want to watch is on Peacock. So now I got to exit out of Xfinity, I got to open my Peacock app, and it doesn't sound like a lot of work, and I'm not trying to say it's like doing yard work, but exactly. So now I'm watching a game on Peacock, and we go to halftime, or even if the game's boring and I want to toggle over to the golf,
exactly.
I got to go out of the app. I got to go back in Xfinity. I got to find the golf channel. You make it hard for me to enjoy my content, and the harder you make it for me to enjoy the content, the less likely I'm going to enjoy your content.
Okay,
that's just a fact.
I'm with you.
The flip side of that is this toothpaste is not going back in the tube, and you know that. So
I do.
Everything is headed in that direction, and the flip is, what if this does lead to NFL level competitiveness in the other leagues? Right now, baseball and basketball do not have 30 and 32 team leagues.
The Yankees?
They have 10, and then they have other people who fill out the schedule.
So right now, the Yankees,
NFL, where Green Bay and Jacksonville can compete,
yes,
I'm in.
So
I'm into this idea.
And I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
the
ahead.
Yankees have their own station, right? They're one of the few. There's only like 5 in baseball that have like their own station. They have a payroll of $300 million. The Mets have a kind of essentially their own station. They have a payroll of $300 million.
Dodgers.
They have multiple $40 million a year players who any one of them makes more than the Reds, the Marlins, the Pirates' entire salaries.
Well, this is sometimes this is where we're headed with baseball. Where and not to date us too much, but if you know the movie Billy Madison, where Adam Sandler as a grown adult is playing dodgeball with kindergartners. And that's essentially what baseball is very close to becoming. If the Dodgers or the Yankees, or let's put them in, the Braves, Red Sox, the Giants, who will be one of the teams that has this advantage, you get to the end and it's like, what the hell did you achieve? You beat 30 teams that collectively are not spending what you're spending by yourself. SEC, thank you.
Versus like
Alabama, when you get to the end, what the hell did you achieve? There's 4 other teams. And you beat them.
Yeah,
I
know.
You beat Cal. Cool. Well, this is not. They're not playing the same sport.
My big issue with like Super League talk is like, wouldn't you get tired? And I don't know how many teams were going to be in it, but like in the baseball, I don't want to see Giants Dodgers every week. I'm already sick of Red Sox Yankees every single week. I'm not saying every game, but I like them mixing up and, hey, we get the Diamondbacks. Hey, I get to see the Cardinals. Hey, I get to see them. If that goes away and it's just, again, like you said, 7 or 8 teams at the top, that's boring as hell to me.
And that's where we are with baseball, though, honestly.
The top 9 teams in payroll all make the playoffs.
Right, and you could take 10 teams right now. We could all go through the list and say you 10 have absolutely no shot
Reds,
of making the playoffs.
Marlins, Pirates. Just go right down the list.
Yeah, you could go through it, and it sucks, but that's the nature of it. And that's in English Premier League. You've got 20 teams in the Prem, and there are really only 4 or 5 that ever even have a shot to win the title.
Really?
Ever. Yeah.
Does that make it more or less intriguing? I'm not as versed.
It makes it less intriguing, but at least when you watch, like, every team plays each other twice. So if you're a bottom feeder like Leeds, if you're a team that just struggles to even be in there, you know you get 2 cracks at Manchester City, 2 shots at Man U. So at least those games are important.
Gotcha. Well, because I guess in this hypotheticals that we're talking about here,
fake, Alan.
You know, I'm saying to myself, I already have subscription fatigue, but I know I'm hooked. I'm addicted. I'm going to buy what if the Warriors cost X and the Giants cost X, I'm going to pay for it. Who am I kidding?
Right.
But are the audiences going to pay for it? And are they going to be as in as we are? Are they just going to say, I'll pick and choose, and if you're good, I'm in. When you're not good, I'll cancel my subscription and I'm out.
Exactly.
That's what you think?
Basically, yeah.
There'll be a little bit of that, but at the same time, I mean, that's kind of like, there's a business model like this all over the place. I mean, The Athletic, whatever. Like, would you take fewer subscribers who are paying versus more subscribers who aren't paying and then try to go through the advertising model, which we all know, especially post-COVID, is really, really hard. It's only getting harder and harder to get corporate dollars because there are too many platforms and too many places where people are or / aren't. Like, we look at ratings so differently now because it's all spread out. So, like, when they do that and they're like, oh, this game, like, NFL ratings are down. No, they're not. Like, it's just spread out. It's all over the place, and eyeballs are everywhere, and streaming platforms and whatnot. Like, I don't think you're going to have a choice. Do you know what I mean?
It's coming, right, Mark?
Yeah. Of course it's coming. And so, you know, to take it to our market, if you're a Giants fan, just know when we get those 2 YouTube games and you're the one who screams out your front window.
My dad.
You're a dinosaur.
I know.
You're going to have to find YouTube.
I know.
You're going to have to find YouTube if you want to keep watching stuff. You're going to have to get Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to do it.
It's just the nature of the beast right now. And it's basically what you're talking about, Willard. It's projected revenue versus concrete revenue. You've already paid. I don't really care if you watch or not because you already paid versus the advertisements that are going to go up and down. I'm going to continue to say it, and I'm never going to stop. Look, that 2020 baseball season was so much fun.
Because it's a small
season. Cut the games.
Totally.
Cut them.
100 games.
Cut the games.
It'll never happen.
I know.
It'll never happen.
No, not even a little bit. Can we get to 100?
No, I'm with you. Even like if baseball went to 154, and what I said for baseball was to make it like it was when I was a kid in the 70s, doubleheaders.
I totally agree.
We had doubleheaders.
It's the calendar.
Schedule would come out.
Yep.
My dad would take us to maybe 2 games a year. We didn't have a lot of money. Grew up poor in Marin, and it's just the way it went. But
in
my
a little
dad would look
shanty in Ross?
No, we had a
Poor in Marin.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Weird set.
I'm teasing.
Mark, you weren't there in the 70s. We had a 3-bedroom house for 6 of us. It was me and my 2 brothers in one room.
It's a lot of people for
we had bunk beds and then the trundle bed, which is where I slept.
Yeah.
And many mornings I would wake up and I'd be pushed in. So I'd be pushed back in underneath the bottom
like
bunk.
a burrito.
You're like you're getting an MRI and you didn't even realize
exactly.
it.
Early MRI.
Exactly.
Why is this thing right
Queen
above
Gail
my
had her
nose?
own room, the caner. But
so
my dad would look at the schedule. He'd say, doubleheader in August, we're going. And he would get us tickets for those.
Love that.
You know. So I think bring back the doubleheader. But like the NFL, more games. We all want more games. We don't want fewer NFL games.
NFL withdrawal right now.
USFL
Already?
coming up.
I do. I'm just being honest. Like,
so will you dial into the USFL?
no, I just don't have the. Maybe, but like before, like
He
XFL,
goes from no to maybe
I mean,
in
like
9
I
seconds.
like flip it a little, and I'm like, okay, if this is on. Like yesterday, there was nothing on. I'm on Riviera. I just wanted to watch something. I
get it.
watch college basketball.
It was fun.
College baseball starting too.
Stop with your college baseball.
seriously.
I mean, can we get through college basketball first? I'm
Both
all
of
for
it.
college baseball.
I would much rather watch girls
So
softball.
brutal.
I actually enjoy girls
We were
softball
watching it
way
yesterday.
more, way
Yes.
more than
Women's
men's
softball, yeah.
than men's baseball. Excuse
We
me,
were
women's,
watching some of that
apologies.
yesterday.
Tiger,
and,
calm down over there.
I think when I get to May and June and we get to that, like, because I was a college baseball play-by-play announcer, so I have a soft spot for the regional, the super regional, going to
It's going to Omaha.
We're here at Sunken
Look,
Diamond.
but how you're planning on following college baseball, right at the end,
right?
That's how a lot of baseball consumers that aren't hardcore would plan on it. So all of these deals in the future, nobody is going to pay for 162 games. What they're going to do is, okay, I'm sure they're going to drop it down. Let's see if the Giants are good or not, and I'll pay for it with about 30 games left.
Right. That's
if
what we did anyway.
But if
like
they
the
ask
audiences
you-
did that. Like when they won 107. I mean,
But you didn't have to. You didn't have to pay.
No, I know.
additionally.
But what I'm saying is people are already like, oh, it's September. Oh, it's them and the Dodgers.
Exactly.
I'm in.
Right,
Like, that's-
exactly.
And they'll just subscribe when they need to.
And that's baseball because there are 162 of them. And so if you're a Giants fan, like Mark's you guys are hardcore Giants fans.
we have sicknesses.
You'll probably go to 15 to 20 games minimum. And, Mark would go to more if he didn't have these 3 kids and a bunch of problems,
No
quite
joke.
frankly.
I'd go to 81.
That sounds like
Exactly,
an album. 3 kids and a bunch of
It's
problems.
a guru drop. It's a famous guru.
It's a classic.
It's
I
one
got
of
3 kids and a bunch of problems.
Yeah,
It's delivery for me.
No, I think it's Guru's album cut on his first album. But, for me, I love baseball. I'll go to
like
4
a
to
niner.
6, But, you get to baseball now, like you're saying, the Giants are 32 and 29. What?
Exactly.
And they're a game out of the 4th wild card, and it's like the baseball
I
has
just
lost
wild
any sense of emergency.
Yeah, but I just see to me, it's
so
as an individual, it's especially, and it's a good conversation to have now with football being done. Like I had a buddy reach out yesterday, and he's like, want to get lunch Sunday or something, and all of a sudden I was like, huh,
Sunday?
we can get lunch on Sunday. I don't even like that. I hadn't even thought about that, but for me, it's about the cadence. And that's actually one of the things I love about baseball the most is it's there almost every night.
I'm with you on that.
Like, it's just there for us. I love the cadence for me is work, 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 work.
Rihanna.
And then it's kids, and then it's dinner, and then it's couch. And that hopefully is with kids, and people are doing homework and things are happening, but I want that thing on.
Totally agree.
The TV in the background, I wish the Warriors would play 7 days a week. When they don't play this time of year, I'm just like, okay, when do they play next? Like, because right now
it's stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, we got a streak of how many nights in a row where, and thank goodness for whatever Netflix documentaries, but like what are we turning on at 7:45?
Yeah,
tonight?
I mean, cornhole. Cornhole goes kind of crazy.
I don't know if
Bowling
you've
goes
watched
kind of
much
crazy.
competitive tag, but it's incredible.
You got to be nimble.
Very nimble.
Is
You
it
do
serious?
have to be nimble.
Dead serious.
Oh, I didn't know.
it's really a thing.
I didn't know this.
You've got the tagger, and then you've got the taggee, and the tagger has 20 seconds to run around inside this giant box and tag the person. But there are platforms. There's
this has been around for a
monkey
while.
bars. It's kind of a mix between parkour and just out and out chase.
Well, if we're gonna go down this path, I mean,
might as well.
I don't know
Nothing
how
else
much
going on.
longer this is gonna last. But
Slip and slide.
The face slapping competitions.
Did you see the controversy
first off,
this week?
They're
The
ridiculous.
slapper got suspended for cocaine use. Did you see that? One of the great slappers in our country in the professional slap league, the PSL, he's actually been suspended.
You can't trust anybody.
He's been suspended for
Athletes are supposed to be role
positive
models.
for cocaine.
It's Dana White, though. After him and his wife have fisticuffs, and then he has this show come out, like, I can't. I actually like the UFC. I cannot support him though right now. Like, I just don't like him as a person. Like, to me, I know that sounds crazy, and I don't know why.
I don't think it sounds
I've
crazy
made
at
that
all.
moral judgment on him when I know how many of these fighters that I've paid to go see are bad people. I feel like a hypocrite.
You just led us perfectly into something that I think we're going to talk a little bit about today. So there's a tweet out there from Pat Beverly.
What's that?
Well, he responded to
The West is his for the next 10 years?
He responded to about 5 different fans who, if he's going to get bought out in Orlando. And so when you're a professional athlete, you're going to get a tweet like, come to Houston, come to Indiana, come to Detroit.
Photoshopped in Golden State.
So somebody said, get your butt over to the Golden State Warriors, and he quote tweeted it and responded and said, winning at the highest level, a player's dream. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. Now,
he's coming.
The Warriors were not the only team.
We're going to have an all 6-foot lineup.
Right.
I'm ready.
The Warriors were not the only team he mentioned, and I don't think, I'm not saying this is going to happen.
Him and Draymond.
But there are a bunch of people already who go, oh my God, I couldn't root for Pat Beverly.
Why?
And my contention is, oh yes, you can.
Yeah, I rooted for Richard Sherman.
Right. You rooted for Richard Sherman and Oral Hershiser.
Dion.
And Randy Johnson got his 300th win in a Giants uniform. And
made a great play at Washington
the unit's
in a
one
rainy
of us.
night.
He's from the Bay Area, so
great.
You can allow it.
Great photographer.
Livermore.
My contention is most of the time fans have the ultimate mercenary type of an approach to all of this, and the second that uniform is issued to that human being, you will flip on a dime.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
So is there any player, though, any sport right now, who you said I can't root for Dana White.
Yeah.
All right, is there any player who you literally could not root for if they came to the Bay?
Deshaun Watson would be very difficult.
LeBron
that would be
James.
really difficult.
The one thing that
be
Bay
really
Area
difficult.
sports fans tend to do well is when it gets to that kind of a legal realm, right?
That would feel difficult.
Right?
Like Trevor Bauer as a Giant.
There you go.
And when you read those things, like, he's a bad dude.
Right.
Like, really bad.
But there are plenty of sports fans who
you're right.
still don't like.
You're right.
I'll never forget my buddy who's a Cincinnati Bengals fan the morning after they drafted Joe Mixon. And we were at a girls' soccer game. Our daughters played soccer together, and he looked at me. I go, gee, what do you think? He goes, can he help us win? I mean, that was his response. So some fan bases are different on that.
True.
Right.
But if it's just the sports stuff that you hate,
Yeah.
if it's just Pat Beverly trying to hurt Steph Curry, so we think, or whatever.
Well, like Danny Green was going to get bought out, and I saw a lot of Warrior fans like, nope, can't have him on my team.
Yeah, you
He's
can.
the guy who hurt Klay Thompson.
Sure you can.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's what they were
Right,
saying.
right.
And it's like, well, inadvertently, was part of a play where Klay Thompson got
No,
hurt.
it wasn't Dylan Brooks.
What Dylan Brooks? There you go.
I mean,
what
Zaza
Dylan Brooks?
Pachulia is a forever Warrior, and he hurt Kawhi Leonard in a game they were down by 25.
Totally.
I mean, look,
totally
I don't even.
Love you,
Right.
Zaza.
I'll take it a step further, Willard. I don't even think legal or on court or off court. I don't think it matters. I think a lot of these fans, because what are you going to do? You sign, and that's why. Look, I know Cleveland looked really bad, the fan base, and they were saying a bunch of crazy stuff. We got you, Deshaun. What do you have him in? What are you supporting him? And it looked bad. My argument is that I don't think Cleveland is in, because everyone's looking down on Cleveland. If Deshaun Watson and what you thought he was going to bring, I think most fan bases would ride, because what else are you going to do? Not be a fan anymore?
Well, this was the challenge, I think, that Giants fans in particular around the league, if you're old enough to remember this, when Barry Bonds was going through the home run chase, the rest of the nation was literally like, how can you root for this guy?
But he's our guy.
It's super easy, actually. And Dodger fans who are throwing syringes at him, then months later,
Padres.
they nicknamed left field Mannywood when he came back with some pregnancy hormone in his butt.
And a corkback.
Right? So you're right, Alan, which is the bottom line is you're sort of not given a choice. And if they've got your uniform on, what are you supposed to do? Like, not root for your team? Yeah. In the end, Cleveland will look bad if Deshaun Watson isn't good.
Yes, exactly.
It's not
I think
really
Richard
about
Sherman's
massages.
a great test case in terms of like what you're saying, Mark, because he was a hated as an athlete, even though he went to Stanford, he went to Seattle and the LOB and all the rest of it, and clowning Crabtree and all the rest of it.
And the greatest play in Seattle sports history, which was simultaneously a horrible moment for the Niners.
But then he comes here, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden he's still a lockdown corner, and we love you, Sherm.
How many games did you go to when he make an interception, and you look into my section, and everyone, when he made a pick, the place went crazy, did it not?
Always. And it took one interception for Sherm to become, who does he go into the Hall of Fame as a Seahawk or as a Niner?
Yeah, he's become someone that
Sherman like a Niner.
Like we've accepted him now as ours.
He talks more. Right. Sometimes it feels like he talks more about the Niners than the Seahawks.
Absolutely.
I don't know when that happened. I don't think fans. If you're a fan, you just don't have much of a choice. Yeah. Which, not to get into the whole whether athletes are role models or not, but even just keeping it on the floor. Dylan Brooks is really fresh, so I think that's the best comp.
That one would be tough.
But still, ultimately, and he's not. We don't know how good he is anyway.
Like, and here's what ends up happening. I'll give you one that would really bother me if the Warriors acquired Russell Westbrook. I would.
Why?
That's a surprising one.
Mark hates
just
Westbrook.
do not appreciate so many different things about Russell Westbrook.
But this is strictly on court.
But if they did that, I would be against it. I would hate it. I would all of those things. But when the game starts and he's wearing your uniform, am I rooting for him to miss shots?
Maybe at the beginning.
No, but I get you.
I told you that was a stupid signing.
Right, but you want your team to win.
Yeah.
Zeus Kronos on the YouTube feed nailed it as far as my guy, and it's LeBron James. I do not want to see LeBron come here and win a chip with the Golden State Warriors. That would make me.
I'm with you.
This is for you, Oakland.
Exactly.
You know
totally.
You did. So
crying.
It's funny.
I've always wanted to do it with Steph.
I'll keep it real quick. You know how there's all these Niner LA fans, which is so weird.
Yeah.
It's still weird to me. I don't care what anyone says. We're in the elevator with all these guys from LA, and this is in Philadelphia, and they're like, "Yeah, where are you guys from?" Well, we're from San Francisco. Blah blah blah. Bonte's like, "You guys all Laker fans?" And they're like, "Oh, all of us Laker fans, but not right now." And we're like, "What?" And they're like, "We hate LeBron. He's taken our team. He'll never be Kobe." I was like,
There is a thing.
I couldn't believe it.
There's a thing.
It's the weirdest thing.
There's a very, very big LA thing.
I didn't get it.
No, so it's not Laker fans, it's Kobe fans. And obviously there's a very big overlap.
Yeah.
There's a very big overlap there, but Kobe, just because of Kobe went through 2 different championship eras on the same team and then tragically passed away. And so he has become not just a great Laker, but he's become this
mythical figure.
Right.
Yeah,
he's an iconic mythical figure. Yeah. And for some reason, LeBron going there has challenge those people as if he's trying to come like take something from Kobe. And I'm like, he's just
history.
playing basketball.
Cavs had none.
But there's a dynamic there where big time Kobe fan feels very threatened.
I think what
by LeBron James.
I think what it is they had this list in their mind of best Lakers.
Yeah.
LeBron James puts on a Laker jersey. You got to put him pretty close to the top.
No,
Kareem, you got Magic,
you got to put him pretty
Kobe.
close.
Not,
But I'm saying,
no,
Kevin,
he's not.
it's the same.
Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. Are you kidding me?
Alan's saying greatest players to have played as
I thought you meant
Lakers.
greatest Lakers,
No,
as what he's accomplished as a
That's
Laker.
actually a Kobe Magic conversation, and it kind of stops there.
Greatest
Yes.
Greatest player to put on a Laker jersey.
That's a different. Okay, that was a different. That's a different question.
Just like
That's a different
people might
question.
not like it, but Kevin Durant's obviously in that conversation for the Warriors.
Yeah,
doesn't matter
absolutely.
what he does.
Sure.
And because he won multiple titles. But anyway, this segment is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy Drink, I think, and 95.7 The Game.